welcome to the Ringer Gambling Show, Friday edition. Cousin Sal here. Guess who else is here? Anthony Dabbundo is here. Danny Heifetz is here. And we're here. We have to comment on this Thursday night game. A disgusting game, fellas. We'll get right into it. You got to be a mile high to enjoy that one. It was absolutely gross, Heifetz. Did you even watch? I don't know.
Well, I caught the whole game because, if you just watch the punts, I think it was the first game I've ever seen where if you only watched all the punts, you basically got the gist of the whole game.
That's true. That's true. At one point, even the punter sucked. Like, I was like, oh my God. Like, well, we'll get into it. But when Knicks threw that duck, I was like, well, that was the best punt of the game. That was intercepted like at the 10 in triple coverage. But listen, we have a lot going on. We're going to give our Ringer 107 picks, highly, highly controversial. College football picks, NBA, college basketball. We got it all. Hey, Derrick Henry at the end of this, Dabbundo. I have like a 10-minute interview with him. He sat down with me. Can you believe it?
Does he have any predictions about the rest of the Ravens season?
He won't. He wouldn't get into that. All I wanted to talk about was the tackle where his tuchus was exposed, and I don't think he would have brought that up otherwise had I not. So anyway, that was a little uncomfortable. You'll see at the end, but it had to be brought up. But listen, this also hasn't been brought up.
This is the Ringer Gambling Show presented by FanDuel. The best place to bet the NFL all season long. FanDuel's got it all. Same game parlays, quick bets for jumping in live, and your way so you can build the bet that fits your play. In Missouri, get excited because FanDuel's coming your way December the 1st. Download FanDuel.com/gamblers to get started. Must be 21 plus in present select states and 18 plus in D.C., Kentucky, and Wyoming. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut.
10-7. The Broncos win a truly terrible game. 161 penalty yards, just over 400 total yards of offense, 3 sloppy interceptions, a block punt. Awful, awful play calling. Both teams taking themselves out of field goal range on third down multiple times. Heifetz, we said we weren't going to spend a lot of time on this. So go ahead. Crystallize this in, 6 or 7 seconds.
If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Good.
Heifetz, you're a much better man than me.
Go ahead. Well, I mean, it was Geno 16 for, I don't know who was worse. Geno 16 for 26, 143. Bo 16 for 28, 150. Bo had 2 picks. Geno 1. I know you want to go off on Bo Nix, Dabbundo.
I mean, I'm just not going to sit here and pretend like we're not going to do this thing where we pretend that he's good, right? Like, come on. This team has won a bunch of games. They're 8-2. If you just point to the record and you're a Broncos fan, you're like, 8-2. He wins games. He finds ways to win. All of those like platitudes that don't actually exist in the reality of evaluating this quarterback and how he's performed in the majority of the team's games this year. I mean, the Raiders are a bottom 5 defense. And I know that, Sean Payton's not off the hook for some of the play calling stuff and some of the weird things that happened last night either. But I just pulled up success rate in the first 3 quarters of games this year. The only 2 quarterbacks who are lower than Bo Nix are Dylan Gabriel and Cam Ward. And if you're like one of those people who says, you have to count how clutch he is in the fourth quarter because that's meaningful to how good Denver is and why they keep winning all these games. If you just do all 4 quarters, the only 3 quarterbacks who are worse by success rate than Bo Nix are Russell Wilson, Cam Ward, and Dylan Gabriel. So this is not sustainable. They are not a contender in the AFC. I don't care what their record is. I look forward to betting against them in the AFC playoffs. And they're not even close to the same tier as what I think is the top 5 or 6 teams in the AFC, which include Indianapolis, New England, maybe. We'll see about their defense. Certainly the big 3, KC, Baltimore, Buffalo, and then even the Chargers with no offensive line. I would take as a Super Bowl chance more than I would take this Denver team with this limited offense. We've seen this because we saw it last year. I'm not falling for it just because they're winning a bunch of close games against bad teams. If you remove the Cowboys and the Bengals games from the sample, which, again, I'm massaging some data here to make my point, he is 27th in EPA per dropback. It's a bad
I'm surprised it's
offense.
Even that good. Yeah, I mean, it's off. Look, I followed him at at Oregon. My son goes there, so I had some interest there. I watched him at Auburn, and I swear to God, he'd complete long passes. I swear he'd complete mid-range passes. I swear. The one thing he's good is bouncing up in the pocket when he avoids the rush and gets like within a yard of the line of scrimmage. He's sometimes able to complete a big-ish pass, right, Heifetz? But I don't have a lot of other good things to say about Bo Nix right now.
Footwork is a window into a quarterback's mind, and Bo Nix's footwork is a mess. Why? I don't totally understand how it's gotten worse in year 2 instead of better, but it's an absolute mess. And the timing, none of his timing with any of the deep passes is even close. It's Thursday Night Football. Things are ugly. Burn the tape, but it's been that way all year.
Yeah.
But to steal a line from Bill, the Broncos are the good bad team.
Right. Bill McCroskey Merritt, is that what he said?
To steal line from Bill Crosby Merritt, the Broncos are actually just the best of all the bad teams.
Yeah, except like 8-2. So it's weird because last year the difference was they couldn't win 1-score games, and now that's all they can win. And it helps that the defense has 46 sacks now. I think they put Geno down 6 times yesterday. He was a walking
put him down.
disaster.
Yeah, he looked like old Yeller. They were
Really?
going to put Geno down.
I couldn't believe they didn't
Really
go to Kenny. I mean, at a certain point, if Geno can't move, Kenny has to be better than that, right?
They did. I was like, things are about to get better for the Raiders, and then they took him right back out. Yeah.
My summary of the game is the Broncos blocked a goddamn punt and gave the offense the ball at the 10, and they lost yards.
Yes. We've said it, we through the years, like there are some games where you could just hand off and win the game. And from the second or third quarter on, Denver could have just handed off. That block punt you're talking about, they got it. I think it was a goal to goal, or I don't know, maybe it was at the 12, at the 10, then they ended up at the 12 or the 13. I'm like, oh my God, just run the football here. But all right, let's look at odds because that's what we do here, guys. Tell me if anything jumps out at you, whether you'd go for or against here. Denver's win total is now 11.5, updated over under. Vegas is 4.5. Denver plus 130 to win the AFC West. They're tied with Kansas City, actually, exactly at plus 130. And Denver AFC plus 900. I don't think anyone's taken that. Anything jump out at you, Dabbundo, with this?
Well, that's the question, right? So these two teams play next week. Is now the time to invest in Kansas City? Plus 130. I mean, I have preseason exposure on the Chiefs to win the division. They're going to play twice between now and the end of the season. They're playing in Denver next week. And look, if you're one of those people who thinks that Denver's an elite team, then ask yourself, why are they catching 3.5 at home next week against the Chiefs? I think, the market's kind of aware that this team is a little bit fake. I'm looking right now. If it is 3, do we just bet the Chiefs next week? It's 3.5.
No, I can't. You're not allowed to tell me this, Dabbundo.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You could probably get suspended from all Ringer activities for telling me the line when I'm
Dabbundo, act like you've been here before.
Unbelievable. What did I do? The line is not 3.5.
Earmuffs, Sal. Earmuffs.
By the way,
2.5, 6.5.
I guarantee Bill will get that one right over me. I'll completely forget it. Yeah.
My takeaway from these games is not to bet anything for this line. It's to say, Sal, I don't even remember what offseason you said this, but you said at one point on one of the over-under shows with Bill before the season, you're like, why don't we just bet most of our money on the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl every year, and net you will just be up a lot, and
KCD,
it's like an annuity.
Yeah, it's a CD.
This is just exactly. This is just another reminder to just bet the Chiefs to win the division and the Super Bowl every year. Don't think about it.
Yeah. Okay. How about this though? It's one I didn't throw out at you. An odds movement. Yeah. Like I forgot who said it on our text last night, but said, "Oh, I can't wait to bet against Denver in the playoffs." You don't have to, because FanDuel has it up there. Denver loses first round plus 110. Now, if they got the number 1 seed, that would suck. You lose automatically, right? I don't know who they're playing. I don't care though. Honestly,
what if they drew Pittsburgh or like Jacksonville snuck in?
So I don't care. I really that would be maybe okay, Jacksonville or Pittsburgh, but they're likely going to face New England or Buffalo in New England or Buffalo or home. Either way, I like the plus 110 for them to lose. I'm trying to think where you would have the advantage. I mean, if they're favored in the first game, right? Because it looks like they'll have a home game, I think.
Well, they'd have to win the division.
I guess they'd have to win the division. I don't know. I like it right now. I would like to lock that in at plus 110. That's no good, Heifetz? Maybe I didn't do the math.
The only
on
thing
that
to be
right.
careful with is the problem with the Broncos is the deep ball accuracy. But you only got to hit 1 or 2 passes in a single game for it to go right.
I know,
And
shit.
I don't like the Broncos have the advantage. The hard part's getting actual talent in the trenches. They have that on each side of the ball. So
Yeah.
part of me is like the smart thing is actually to buy the dip because now that everyone agrees the Broncos suck, probably a good time to bet on them. Not next week versus the Chiefs, but it's probably actually a good time to grab Broncos stuff. If I'm being
Yeah.
honest.
And speaking of like narratives that have gone over the top one way or the other, I was talking Brock Bowers, right? Dabbundo. There's never been a tight end like him. Who do you buy tickets to see? What tight end through the history of NFL on a bad team? None. Brock Bowers is the only one, if it's him at all. 1 for 33. 3 targets.
Yeah, I bought a ticket
Disgusting.
to last night's game after listening to the podcast that we discussed him and how great he
Right.
was. And
Yeah.
I'm looking for refunds.
You can get a refund? I think you can get a refund. All right, listen, 10, 11 minutes on that game. Is that good? I don't know. That's probably 6 or 7 too many. But let's talk Ringer 107 picks. Today's Ringer 107 is brought to you by FanDuel Ringer Fantasy. Heifetz 1-4 last week, 23-22, still tied for first place. Dabbundo, you and I were 2-3. Lucky. 21-24 on the year. Wow. So we have 5 picks to Dabbundo. Everybody has 5 picks. And Team Heifetz has gone against 4 of them. Can you believe this?
This is actually somehow this is not the first time this has happened.
Right.
Which I'm actually fascinated by because it feels
4's a
statistically
lot.
unlikely.
3, it's 4?
Have we
We're
gone
watching-
head to head 4-4?
No, we're watching the same games. It is kind of weird. Isn't it?
Earlier this year, we had that one week where it was 4 different games we were opposed, and
Really?
we were both right on 2 of them in true Ringer 107 fashion.
Yes, that's essentially what ends up happening. All right, start us off, Dabbundo. This is one that we're going head to head with the fantasy crew here. Washington plus 8.5 locked in. What do you got?
I mean, I can't get anywhere near this number. I was against Washington last week when they were 3-point home underdogs to Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
How is it 8.5 now? Jaden Daniels is out, yes. But Marcus Mariota and this version of Jaden Daniels we've seen this year, the efficiency numbers are pretty comparable. It's a marginal downgrade, but it's not like Mariota is totally incapable of running an offense. And so I'm looking at this game, and I get all of the reasons to be skeptical of Washington, right? They lose a bunch of defensive players to injury. Lattimore goes down for the year, although I'm not convinced that he had much left to give. Their defensive line is injured. They were unable to get any pressure against Darnold last week, and they really showed up totally flat. But that's the reason the line is 8.5 now, and I'm just trying to figure out how Detroit, in their current state, is supposed to be laying this many points with all of their offensive line uncertainty themselves, their defense not being as healthy as they'd like. So I think Washington can keep this game within a score. This is a simple exercise where I know how good Dan Campbell's been off of a loss and Detroit, but at 8.5 at home, I'm going to be taking a perfectly competent backup in Marcus Mariota to keep this within a score.
All right. So that's my teammate, Heifetz. Heifetz, I think you could answer all of his questions with what he just brought up at the end there. The trend, the greatest, the sexiest trend in all of sports betting, that Detroit is 12-0 is the number against the spread and straight up after a loss. Did that factor in at all for your pick?
Absolutely. And I'll give you another one. Washington ended Detroit's season last year.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Lions are extremely motivated. Nobody runs up the score like the Lions. I feel like we had the same conversation in week 2 when the Lions played the Bears, and we took the Lions, and our argument was the Lions are going to run up the score. That game was 52-21. This game, I think, is going to be similar. I think the Lions are going to try to put up 40 points because they embarrassed Detroit. And then you combine that with everything you just said, with due respect to Mariota's like efficiency numbers. That's all way overinflated by the one Raiders game. The Raiders suck ass. Mariota could not move the ball on Kansas City on Monday Night Football a couple weeks ago.
They did move the ball. They had like multiple turnovers in the red zone.
I understand that the Lions have injuries on defense, but Washington is depleted. It's like Jaden Daniels is hurt, Terry McLaurin's hurt, Luke McCaffrey's hurt. Like the defense, Dorrance Armstrong, like Marshawn Lattimore tore his ACL. Like Washington's running out of receivers, they're running out of cornerbacks. The quarterback's done. The receiver, like other than that, they're doing great. And I don't know. I look at Detroit. I'm like, they're going to try to embarrass this Washington team.
I think embarrass is the key word here. I think whoever's wrong picking this game is going to be embarrassed. I think it's either going to be like Heifetz said, it'll be 52-21, or I don't know, maybe we'll be like, I don't know, like Detroit will suck all game, Dabbundo, and like they'll score at the end to win, to barely win, and not even come close to covering. But all right, let's
Well,
move on.
I will say,
Go
they
ahead.
have gotten blown out 3 weeks in a row. The Commanders.
Commanders, yeah.
They lost
they're
by
not very
22, 21, and 24 the last 3 weeks. So nobody
true.
wants to bet Washington except for the handicapos.
Okay, all right, let's go. We got to make our move somehow. And we think that a lot of others are betting Detroit, right? Are betting, right? Was that the one we saw? I couldn't see the graphic yet.
I haven't seen the graphic either, but I
Okay.
did do some recon. I don't recall a ton of Detroit love.
Who was it? There was one team that we thought was going to be. All right, we'll
Yeah, the
get
fantasy
into it.
guys.
Is that how you guys make your picks? You try to guess what other people are going to pick,
Oh,
no.
and
Well,
they go the other way.
Well, we're down a few. We do have to make up ground at some point. And we decided not to do the parlay thing, although there was some intriguing options out there.
We thought about it for a long time because
Yeah.
all year we have not profited off of this parlay option with the Texan unders. The opportunity to bet against the Texans offensively and bet on the Texans defensively.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So here's another one. I might be betting with my heart here, but the Capos are locked into Tampa Bay -2.5 against the Pats. The Patriots won a week without covering. Still have won, what is it, half a dozen games in a row. I think this is the healthiest the Bucs are going to be. They're coming off a bye from the Action Network. Since 2003, teams off a bye with their opponent not off a bye are winning 56% of games. This season, those teams are 6-0 straight up, with none of the 6 games finishing within 1 possession. Pretty damn good, Dabbundo. I didn't make that up. Action Network did. So if they're wrong, you know who to go to. It's going to be tough to get that running game going for sure, despite Ruiz's ridiculous rating, though. Baker, 4-0 after a bye. Egbuka is going to be playing. It's almost a month since Todd Bowles' team played at home, by the way, and they're 2-0 in front of the home crowd. Let the Pats beat up on the cellar dwellers. Let them do it. They get the Jets next week, then the Bengals and Giants. Once a month, they meet a formidable opponent. They got that this week. Tampa Bay kills this Drake Maybe winning streak. 31-19, lay the 2.5. Somehow, you didn't go against this, Heifetz. This is good.
No, we did. No, we took the Patriots.
You did?
Yes, we did. We
This is
took
the one you did
Patriots
go
getting
against. Oh,
points.
son of a
We
bitch.
did.
That's right. Okay.
Unbelievable.
Great.
This one was really simple for us. This was our 5th pick. I will be honest, I could go either way, but we looked at it as, other than the Saints, who don't count. The Bucs haven't really beat anyone by a lot of points, and the Patriots haven't really lost or been down at any point by a lot. We just kind of wanted to grab the points. I understand Drake May against the blitz, how he handles Todd Bowles blitzes is going to be a thing. I don't know if either team's going to be able to run. I wouldn't be shocked if the Bucs win this game, maybe even by a bit. But I kind of just could. It's just not hard for me to envision this game coming down to a field goal either way, and we just kind of figured to grab the points.
It is tough. I'll admit it, when I went over the game in my head, I was like, oh, shit, he's going to hit 2 long passes, 2, maybe 3, maybe more than 3. So, okay, I got to count that in. It's funny because that's how I factored in the Baker lines in the beginning of the year. It's like, yeah, he's going to hit Mike Evans 35 yards down the field, you know. All right, so there we go. That's we're laying the 2.5 there. Dabbundo, the Saints. This is another one I didn't love, but okay, we're going with it.
Look, last week I bet against Shuck. Team total under got there. It was a little sweaty. They had a couple drives late in the 3rd, 4th quarter that got into the red zone, but they were unable to punch it in. I actually thought Shuck wasn't terrible. I rewatched the game with open mind. I was trying not to have my preconceived priors about how I thought this guy was going to really suck. I didn't watch a ton of Shuck sucking at Louisville, so I was like, all right, let me lock in here. And honestly, like, the Saints couldn't run the ball. Their defense couldn't get off the field, but the limited action that we saw from Shuck, he actually did some nice things in the passing game. Like, they averaged 7 yards per attempt, which is not bad for a rookie on the road against a great defense in your first start. And now he gets to play this Carolina team, which generates 0.0 pressure. They are 32nd in pressure rate. So I think this is actually a much more favorable matchup for the Shuckheads to get some action here. So you know what? Saints plus 5.5. And there's one other thing that I want to mention, because we talk about market dynamics in the NFL all the time. And when the Panthers podcasters quit,
Oh, yeah.
said there was no better time to buy than the Panthers than when the literal fans of the team who have been podcasting about them for years said, we're done. We're out. We can't do it anymore. They are so toxic, so bad. You know what? Heifetz, guess the Panthers' record since they quit.
It's a lot.
4-1.
4-1. Yeah.
A lot. Yeah.
And now they're trying to come back. And
Yeah.
that is the
Panthers
most.
pod.
Yeah, they tried to come back this week. You didn't see this?
I can't cash my ticket. Sal,
You had
and
it?
I grabbed that at plus 800.
You
back by
did,
week
but
10.
they
That's
they
unbelievable.
didn't let them come back, or
But
people
multiple
weren't, like,
former Panthers players spoke out against this
so what?
and
Yeah,
said that you can't quit
cares?
midseason and come back midseason.
This is like
They're
the people who like leave. This is like the fans who left the Broncos game trying to get back in the building, like the Heat fans in the finals.
Exactly.
There are no podcasting rules. This is so goddamn stupid. All right,
But the fact that they're coming
Panthers
back,
ex-players, yeah.
it's the equivalent of the guy on Wall Street who was getting his shoes shined, and then the guy said how many stocks he owned, and he said, "You know what? That's a sell signal. This is a sell signal on the Panthers. They are at the peak of their market right
Oh my
now,
God.
laying 5.5. Give me the New Orleans Saints,
I
the
wish you were
mother
kidding.
shuckers, the shuckheads.
I know you're not kidding.
Oh, cash.
My God. The Meow Mix podcast. I didn't know you could just call that. Because could we call ourselves like the Coke Zero? I don't know, gambling crew. I don't know what you're allowed to even. So many things wrong about this podcast, other than quitting in midseason because you don't like your team. All right. The Heifetz, more confidence in Shuck or Mariota? Are you a Mother Shucker or a Mother Mary? I don't know what they would be.
I think I think these podcasters are the mother shuckers. If you're being honest, I mean, it's like the mother shucking audacity.
Yeah.
You know what? I respect Dabbundo a great deal.
Really?
Why?
Heifetz has resorted to lying.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit. You know what? I will say though, Tyler Shuck also surpassed my expectations last week because I watched the Saints and I was like, this guy. It does feel like he knows left from right almost all the time. Tyler Shuck. I do think he barely confused his left and right during this game. I do want to point out your 7 yards per attempt. He had 96 yards entering the fourth quarter. I get what you're saying. With due respect, I don't care. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get a bet against Tyler Shuck every single week until he covers.
All right.
And until he does cover, I'm going to just assume that this is the Brian Callahan. I wish at the beginning we had just bet against Brian Callahan every year. Kind of like the Rockies this year, the White Sox a couple years ago, where it's just get in on the train early just in case there actually will be a historic generational opportunity here. So I'm going to just bet against Tyler Shuck literally every week until he covers.
And the thing we talk about is like, it might not be his fault. I mean, Dabbundo, you pointed it out, right? Shuck was okay. It was a defense that couldn't get off the field, and they couldn't run the ball. I'm like, okay, those are real issues, right? We're betting
the worst
based on a lot
NFL.
of those things. We have our bet.
Carolina can't throw. I mean, Carolina, like Bryce Young throws for like 150 every game.
You know what's funny is you're right. It's crazy. Bryce Young threw 100 yards and beat the Packers. You know who else is going to throw for 100 yards and beat the Packers? Jalen Hurts.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, we
Are
haven't
we
got.
gonna get into that one
we
too?
might as well do that. As you brought it up. We're going head to head here. We got another 2.5 home team here, Dabbundo. I like it. This makes this will make 3 good quarterbacks we're betting, which is a record. I mean, usually we have guys who no way they're going to be on a 2026 roster. But I feel that Jordan Love, God damn it though, you did upset me when you said Carolina, last or 28th in pressure, and they still couldn't. He has like 7 dudes to throw to. I know Kraft got hurt, but for God's sakes, they couldn't score 16 points. Anyway, Green Bay minus 2.5. Dabbundo, you hit this first. I like it too. They expect some weather. Go ahead, hit us with why this is a winner.
You said 3 good quarterbacks. So you're saying Shuck, Mariota, and Love?
That's the one. Yeah. Forget about Herbert, who I'm about to speak to later. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think this is a good spot for Green Bay. I have been steadfast. I have a lot of opinions. Some would say too many. Some would say I'm too passionate about them. But 2 of the strongest ones I've had this year is that Bo Nix is 3. Bo Nix is a fraud. The Texans offense is a fraud, and Green Bay is the best team in the NFC. That's been my opinion since day one. I know that on any given week, they're liable to look about as bad as the Panthers, but when they put their A game together, which you don't know when it's going to come out. That's a scary part.
When has the Packers put their A game together? What year was this?
Week 1 against Detroit at home. Week 2 against the Commanders at home in Pittsburgh on Sunday Night Football a couple weeks ago. When you see that A game, you see why they are the best team in the NFC, I think, and therefore I'm getting them at home laying less than 3. Look, they've had all these issues. They didn't even punt last week. It's red zone, it's special teams, it's inability to run the ball in short yardage, all these little things that have added up that have definitely dinged the Packers. But they've also run pretty bad in some of these games to lose them. So you know what? I'm going with them at home, minus 2.5. I know the Eagles are off the bye. I know they're getting healthier. But I trust their offense more to be more consistent, which is crazy because the Eagles' offense has been very Jekyll and Hyde this year. They are third highest 3-and-out rate in the NFL. It's a big red flag for me going up against this pretty good Packers defense that will force you to be methodical.
You know, the Panthers, the more and more we bring up that box score, Heifetz, it's like, how, not that the Packers did anything great in there, but the fact that they didn't punt, the fact that the opposing quarterback had barely over 100 yards passing, I cannot believe I lost all that money on this money line.
Well, they had
parlay.
two turnover on downs in the red zone. They had a fumble in the red zone, and they missed a field goal.
Right. I guess that'll do it. Hey, the other thing is, I brought this up to Simmons. If you're going to, I feel like the team is destined to play like their uniform sometimes. And so when you trot out those 1930s get-ups, you're going to be the forward pass might not come into play too much in the next 3 hours. I wish there was a way to figure out what they're going to wear.
They committed to the bit. It was like Daniel Day-Lewis. They kind of, it was a little too method.
So how does that explain Denver last night?
That's true. Well, they had
invented the offense the last time they wore those uniforms.
Exactly. You know? I do like those. They should stay with those. All right. Go ahead. Heifetz Eagles though, +2.5. That's what the fantasy team is picking.
Dabbundo, what does your model say about how the Eagles are really mad that the Packers try to ban the tush push? We joked on the Ringer one. We joked.
Is Green Bay not motivated for this game off of a bad loss at home on Monday Night Football?
Yeah, I just think the Eagles. You're like, look, there's a ton of X's and O's. I understand. Look, Matt LaFleur's an awesome coach. It's easy to make fun of the Packers, but they have a lot of injuries, obviously. But every now and then, it's dangerous to get too much into motivations and shit. But every now and then, I like the two this week. I like the Lions trying to embarrass Washington, and I like the Eagles trying to embarrass the Packers because of the tush push thing. And we joked on our show that we wanted our 5 picks this week. I'm curious if you guys would have let us do this. We joked that we wanted our 5 picks to be the Eagles money line, the Eagles giving 6.5, the Eagles giving 9.5, and the Eagles giving 13.5. And we wanted to submit all 5 of those, just the Eagles. The Eagles giving 9.5, and this is 4-1. Eagles giving 6.5 is 3-1. I understand there's a lot of ways, like if Jordan Love is able to just sit there and sit still, Vic Fangio, the Eagles defense, it's very similar to what the Panthers play. It's kind of it's a test of can Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur just sit still and not try to push the ball downfield? That is why the Packers lost last week, is Jordan Love's inability to sit still and the ADHD Gen Z quarterbacks that they have now. And that if Jordan Love can do that, he might dice up Philly's defense. I just think the Eagles, I just think they're kind of going to kick the shit out of the Packers in this one.
Really?
Really physical.
Wow. I would have let you, if I had a vote, let you do all 5 in there. Go ahead. God bless.
Those are,
we'll go 5-0 or 0-5, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, sure. You have a +450 and a +750. Good luck. If they win by 6, what would you go? 1-4? I don't know what was out, but anyway. I don't. I'm thinking about that. The bundle, to the point of the tush push, if you're the front office for Green Bay and you led the charge to get the vote to do away with the tush push forever, and it fell short by a couple votes, do you instruct the Packers defense, hey, let them succeed on the tush push 4 times so that we could present a even bigger case? This is ridiculous how one team is doing it. Or do you we got to stop those motherfuckers? It's interesting. It's interesting analysis there, right?
Well, here's my question. How much of the Green Bay was behind the banning of the tush push is just because Green Bay doesn't have an owner?
Yes, it was the NFL. It's the same way the president can't introduce a bill in Congress. They have to get a friendly congressman to do it. It's like the NFL made the Packers do it because the Packers are always afraid because they don't have an owner that they're going to get screwed because the other 31 teams have owners. So they kind of want to do the league office a favor every now and then. So having said that, Matt LaFleur also.
So it's kind of a straw man. But
they still did it. The Eagles don't give a shit. They still did it. Right.
Yeah, that's true. Philly's still mad at Green Bay for it. I can tell you that.
Is it like when Johnny Sack asked Tony to put the hit out on Carmine? Is it that kind of thing? I can't do it myself here. Here's a few bucks. You do it. We'll make it right. We'll make the HUD thing go away. All right. So I have one more for us, Dabbundo, and that is Chargers -2.5. Is this 3 home teams -2.5? Yikes. Let's go 2-1. I'm meeting the wave head on here. It seems to me like people just had to see the Steelers defense step up for 3 hours versus Dabundo's Colts. And now sky's the limit for this team that allowed 68 points the 2 previous games. Also, by the way, Steelers last week, 6 takeaways. Is that true, Dabbundo? They had 6 takeaways and only won by 7?
Unfortunately, I had to rewatch the game Tuesday morning, and it was not fun. I was hitting
All
the
right.
fast forward button as quickly as possible, trying to get through it so
The
I didn't have to
point
watch
is,
it.
It was okay. I don't think it's replicable what the Steelers did to the Colts.
That's what I'm saying. Like six takeaways, not replicable, and they only won by 7 anyway. So Herbert is a favorite at night, 10-3. Also, my wife and son are going to this game. My son is a Steelers fan, inexplicably, as much as me being a Cowboys fan. And my kids never leave these games happy. So Team Harbaugh sends 55,000 Steelers fans, including my son, back to their hotels. He'll come home drowning in misery. 31-21 final. We're taking good quarterbacks. I love it. I love what we're doing here. Go ahead, Heifetz.
How did your son become a Steelers fan?
It is very strange. He's a quirky young lad, and he was infatuated with Heinz ketchup. Probably the last year that it was Heinz Stadium in Pittsburgh before it went to Acusure or whatever it is now. And so Heinz, everything before you knew it. We had terrible towels all over the house. We were stepping on them, and that's it. That's all it takes.
I guess that's how advertising works.
You know what? Yeah, it's fine.
Wait, what age was he when he loved ketchup? 5 or like 16?
26. He's a lot older. No, no, I think it was like 5 or 6. Yeah, you're right.
It's like the ketchup team.
Yeah, what a ketchup team. Yeah, look, if Hellman's had a team, if Hellman's like sponsored the Panthers, I'd be all over it. I don't know. All right, so the one that you didn't go against. Oh, you're going against this too? No, you stayed away from this.
No, we stayed away from Chargers Steelers. This is a weird game.
Yeah.
It's weird. Either way, it's so easy to see the Chargers carving up the Steelers and just like Steelers. Right. But also, we didn't really want to bet. I don't know. It's just a weird game because it's weird to bet against TJ Watt against LA having 4th and 5th string tackles.
Oh, all right. Well, they made the trade with the Saints, so that helps the offensive line a little bit. But okay, so what's the one game you didn't pick that wasn't head to head with us? Oh, Ravens, Vikings.
Yeah, we have the Ravens giving 4.5 to the Vikings. There was between this and the other one. I like the Rams line a lot. If it was up to me, I probably would have picked the Rams, but we just kind of was like, I know JJ McCarthy pulled out the win yesterday. He had some really good throws and he did what he needed to do, but the Vikings really did. There were training wheels very much on the Vikings offense last week, and JJ McCarthy executed when he needed to. But overall, I'm like, you can go back and forth. It's Lamar Jackson versus JJ McCarthy, and I want Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, that was a misleading performance from Minnesota. I mean, they defensively, special teams dominated the game, but the Vikings touchdown drives, they started at the Detroit 36 after a huge kick return. That was their first touchdown. They had a field goal that was set up on a fumble by Jahmyr Gibbs. And then they had a touchdown, 35-yard drive that also set up by a fumble. So
the Ravens never fumble. So we were just like, let's do the Ravens.
Right.
3 of their 5 scores, they started inside the 40-yard line of Detroit. It was a weird game.
Because Flores just dialed up a great plan against Goff, and
he did
be able to do the same. Yeah, for sure against Jackson. I don't know.
For what's worth, I do agree with you guys. I took Vikings team total under because I don't really trust Lamar in this offense right now. I don't think I think Flores could cause some similar issues. Lamar's taken a lot of sacks, a lot of sacks. Sack rate leaders in the NFL this year. Second worst in the league is Lamar at 12%. Yeah. Worst in the league, JJ McCarthy at 17.5.
Wow. How does that happen? Interesting. That's why it's in the Vegas zone, guys. 4.5. That's what we call that. All right, listen. Today's Ringer 107 is brought to you by FanDuel. Odds are subject to change. What? Why? Why do that? Our teams. Heifetz, do you want to say anything about the Giants at Chicago?
No, I'm just really upset. I just hope Jackson Dart plays well and makes it out alive. And at this point, that's all I care about. I want him to play well.
There you go.
What are the odds?
Yeah.
Heifetz, that Brian Daboll is the head coach of the New York Giants in week 1 of 2026.
I think low. I don't think there's any point to firing Brian Daboll during the season. I don't really understand why people want that to happen. I don't see how that helps anyone, but I don't know if he's going to survive. But it's like, we'll see. If Jackson Dart plays really well, there's a case.
What's the percentage?
Yeah, come on. We're numbers guys here.
37%.
So you're saying, all right, 63% gone.
So gone is minus 190. Is that what we're saying?
Roughly.
Somewhere in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that sounds about right.
All right. I'll take gone. Minus 190. Dabbundo, Madrid, waking up early. Not really for you.
Berlin.
But is it Berlin? Did they move that game?
The Madrid game is coming up. We got Dolphins Commanders in Madrid in a couple weeks.
All right. Well, now I have to change my opinion. Oh, I thought this was in Madrid. Now it's in Berlin. Forget it. The Falcons are toast. Do you feel good about this, or is this a weird spot that you would rather have the home game and rejuvenate this team in front of the real home crowd.
Well, shout out to Delta. They apparently added flights to Berlin from
They
Atlanta
did?
for this game. So now I'm a little worried. All these Atlanta fans are going to come into Berlin. No, I'm not worried.
That's why we call this the Ringer Delta Gambling Show, because we didn't ask Delta.
By the way, also, isn't everything grounded after Friday? Who knows?
That's true. The flight might not take off.
I hope they
It was
left
kind of
already.
ceremonial. They just kind of said they do it.
Exactly. Yeah,
They knew
could
this
say
was coming.
anything.
They knew the flights would never actually leave the airport. But look, I mean, the Colts made the big move. And honestly, if you're trading for a shutdown corner, it's probably good to do it before the game against Drake London and the Falcons, because I kind of feel like he's 80% of their offense. Him and Bijan make up about 99% of the Falcons' total yards, with a small sliver for the occasional Kyle Pitts reception. Like, the problem I have with this is we're paying a little bit of a premium on the Colts still. Like, I was hoping to get like 4.5, and I would have bet the Colts, but 6.5, it's like it's a pretty big number. I'm gonna pass.
Well, you're a good
look for
team.
reasons to
Good
not
team
bet
off a
Europe.
loss, man. You should win. You should cover this. Come on. Don't lose confidence in your
I'm not
club.
losing confidence. I think we're gonna win. I just don't love laying 6.5.
Well,
We didn't love it either. We basically took the lead in this contest by, I think we bet the Colts 10 times, and I don't know what the Colts are against the spread, but it's fueled our rise. And
Yeah.
the only rule we have above take the Colts every week is we just refuse to bet on the games in other continents.
The European games, yeah.
We just
We've only bet one, I think, Sal, and I think
we
we're
won.
1-0.
Yeah, we
We
definitely
won.
won. We bet
So you're
against the
undefeated.
Steelers, right?
It's Pittsburgh.
I
We
looked
bet
at
on
this.
Pittsburgh.
I don't know. The Falcons are weird. I was lucky to cover with them last week against the Patriots. I will say with that Drake London, he's very impressive, and he will have the all-time record for tiptoeing out of bounds with the ball over his head. Every reception is like that, where he catches it over his head. He doesn't even bother bringing it into his body. Whatever subsequent steps he needs to take is what goes on with the ball over his head. So, again, you can't bet on anything like that. All right, my team, the Cowboys, they have a bye, thankfully. I probably should speak about Marshawn Nealon. Very sad, 24, tragic. We joke about Jerry Jones and bad trades and players underachieving. Ironically, Marshawn Nealon was the only player to shine on that roster Monday night with the block punt recovered for a touchdown. But that's not the point. The point is the team and the league have rallied behind this troubled man, and this is a side of sports you hate to see. Not the rallying part, but obviously the tragedy. And I just want to go back to poking fun at Jerry's plastic surgery. Can we do that? Thoughts out to the Nealon family. What do we do, Heifetz, here? This is very sad on a bye week, and everything else puts things in perspective.
Yeah, it's really sad. The thing we said on our show is just, it's really sad. And the only thing I wanted to say out of that is that the National Suicide Hotline number, they actually just changed it to, it's just 988. It's not even a whole number anymore. So it's like 911. You can just call 988, and you can actually text it too if you want.
There you go. 988. All right. And wow, what a segue. Now back to player props for Sunday and Monday. I'm really good at this. Dabbundo, what did you have? Dart under 35.5 rushing yards last week.
Yeah, they
You
ran
had
him
that
again a
much.
lot. There were a lot of runs for Dart
Yeah.
last week. I think that was a misread on my part. They're just trying to get him killed.
You're taking a jet player prop, which I don't think I've done all year. I can't. I don't know. What do you got? But under might be a good way to go.
Yeah, Breece Hall under 64.5 rush yards against this Cleveland defense, which has been so dominant against the run. I also, have to wonder where Breece is at. Like, he probably thought he was getting traded. He's like, hey, why didn't you guys trade me? I was supposed to be traded. You traded Quinnen Williams to the Cowboys. You traded Sauce Gardner to a contender. How come Breece Hall didn't get traded to a contender that needed a running back? So tough spot for him against this defense, which is elite. I think they'll be able to shut down the run game because the Jets are inherently one-dimensional. They will be zero-dimensional on Sunday. I think there's going to be a lot of ugliness in that game. I also bet under 37.5. So I think this game could be one that never makes it anywhere near the multi-view. Let's just say that.
Yeah. When people said everyone's going to flee New York after the election. I didn't have Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner on the top of those lists. I never heard them being so vocal about it. But anyway, all right, Heifetz, you had Alec Pierce same game parlay. Wow, he had a big game, but did not hit pay dirt in that very weird.
The stupidest possible
Colts
thing
game.
is what I did, which is correctly identify Alec Pierce who had like his best game of the year, and I made no money off it, even though I only bet against Alec Pierce.
Touchdowns are hard.
It's the stupidest. It's the stupidest version. I don't know how that happened. Probably
He
should have done it
caught.
right
I'll
here.
tell you what happened. He caught a big pass and got tackled at like the 8-yard line, which
Yeah.
is what happens every week.
That's what you said would happen. Yeah, it's almost like I'm an idiot. Speaking of being an idiot, though,
You're directly correct.
You guys need to listen up, because if you listen to one thing I say on the show the entire season, it should be this. And you're going to lose money. I'm telling you up front, you're going to lose money, but you're going to have a good time. Follow me here.
Mm-hmm.
Rams minus 9.5, because Shanahan McVay is cool on paper, but like the Niners have no players left. Rams minus 9.5. Eagles minus 6.5. They're going to win by a touchdown, right? Lions covering versus Washington because they're going to run up the score. Panthers covering versus the Saints because the Saints are the worst team in the NFL.
I disagree with all of these.
This is the one thing we have to listen to. These four things are the one thing we have.
There's two more. Okay. Drake May and Baker Mayfield to run in a touchdown.
Interesting. All right.
They both have ran in a lot of touchdowns. If all those things happen,
you become part owner of FanDuel.
Yes, you put $10 on that, you win $14,000.
Wow. All right. Why don't you take the 40 to 1 on Baker and Drake May with the rushing touchdown? Isn't that what you're here for?
Drake May and Baker is 40 to 1, but I'm just saying you want to win 40. You 40 to 1 is cool. The other number is plus 145,379, which I don't even know what that number is, but it's a lot.
It sounds like a girl's phone number.
Yeah. There you go. All right, we'll get to that in a second. So, all right, so your pick is Baker and Drake to both have a rushing touchdown. I like this combination too. By the way, I don't think I can hit a player prop. I can't hit one. It's too hard. They make a lot of these 50-50, which means I don't stand the chance. No, what did I have? Mike Mayer under 2.5 receptions last night, and he had like 2 in the first. Denver hadn't even seen the ball. I think he had 2, and of course ended up with only 3. But all right, back to Tampa, New England. Drake Maybe, Baker Mayfield to each record 1+ passing touchdown in each half plus 350. This is a ringer special. Always have the FanDuel waiter read the specials to you. You're missing out if you don't. Pass defenses 18th and 21st, respectively. Penix had 3 last week. He's ranked ahead of Baker, barely, I think. I don't know, in Ruiz's chart. New England's 21 pass touchdowns, 21st in pass touchdowns allowed per game. Maybe he's going to get his because he throws a great deep ball. Fine, whatever. 1 each half pays plus 350. That's a lot of pro football talk, guys. Why don't we take a break? We'll go to college football. We'll do some basketball. And then we're going to hear about Anthony Dabbundo's date. Oh, and Derrick Henry interview. We'll be right back. We're going football. Let's do it college. Ohio State plus 260 to win it all. Indiana plus 550. Alabama plus 750. Heisman update. Julian saying, we gave out a few weeks ago, just saying, at plus 650 a few weeks ago, now plus 150. Fernando Mendoza for Indiana plus 230 and Ty Simpson plus 430. The big games are A&M 6.5 at Missouri, Oregon 6.5 at Iowa, and Texas Tech 10.5 home for BYU. Heifetz, start us off with Oregon minus 6.5. Oh, you lost last week because you had Vanderbilt plus 2.5 and it went to 3.5. You were scared that Arch Manning wouldn't start. And then the line moved on you and you got screwed. Sorry.
You nailed it. You said it as a joke. The concussion would help Arch, and then Arch won the game. And Arch was like, I think the concussion helped. You nailed it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I talked.
You said him?
It's a source, basically. I mean, people have their models, and I talked to Arch Manning during the week.
Exactly.
So what do you want? Yeah. But Oregon 6.5. This one scared me a little bit. I'm with you, but I'm terrified.
I know it's
a
lot of points to lay on the road in Iowa. It's also funny because Oregon hasn't been to Iowa since 1980 or it's 1989. I think Dan Lanning was like 3 years old.
Wow.
He
went on the trip. They took him as a 3-year-old. Wow.
Yeah, it's like he was young enough he could sit on the plane for free. Delta actually chartered a flight from Oregon to Iowa City.
Nothing to do with the team. Wasn't from Oregon at the time. It's weird. All right.
Yeah, exactly. I honestly like Oregon, and I hate Iowa. I have a visceral reaction to Iowa, and not the place, just the school.
I was gonna say, what did Iowa ever do to you?
No, Iowa's lovely. I have family in Iowa.
People out in the Hawkeye State.
No, I think Oregon's gonna win this game.
Okay. So you love one team and hate the other.
Yes.
That's it. All right. There you
Simple.
go. All right. Heifetz. That was Heifetz. Dabbundo, what are you going to do here? You lost. You won with Florida plus 7.5. That was a good pick by you last week.
I mean, how about the end of that game? I know you were watching it.
Jeez. Just nutty. Just nutty. But
I want to give an add a guy.
Add a guy to Gunner.
Yeah, because he understood the situation. And if you score a touchdown there, yeah, you get to celebrate. You're all excited. But then your defense has to go back out there, and maybe one of your defensive players gets hurt, or maybe something happens where Florida scores and then recovers. And I mean, all these crazy college games. We've literally seen teams Miami a couple years ago, who lost a game because the coach didn't realize he could have just taken a knee. They ran a play, the guy fumbled, and the other team went down and won the game. This is how I get it. It's college. These guys want to score. But Gunnar Stockton played the book. And
it was right. Yeah. And by the way,
Florida, it was not a bad beat, by the way. People were like, oh, horrible beat for Georgia. They covered for 0 seconds.
That's the worst part of being in this business. Like, people do not see the bigger picture. Georgia had no business covering that spread, right? Florida, 58 minutes out of 60 had that, and
they almost won it. I mean, they were going in for to go up 10. They didn't score on 4th down, and then the game flipped. But
exactly,
yeah. But good job, Gunnar Stockton.
Good job. I agree. It's easier for me to agree to someone who had Georgia money line. So what does it matter? But you're going Mississippi State. You think this is too many points?
I do, and guess who they're playing? Georgia. Georgia again with like a good win against an SEC team, but a performance that, like, in the underlying box score wasn't that good. That they pulled out late in the 4th quarter. They've had these incredible 4th quarters against Tennessee, against Ole Miss, and against Florida. That's gotten them all these wins. That's kept them in the top 5 or 6. But this defense still can get moved on. Mississippi State's been competitive in almost every game except for one at College Station, where Texas A&M kind of beat them up pretty good. So I feel like Mississippi State, they're not in the upper tier of the SEC by any stretch, but they're good enough that catching 9.5 at home is too many points. So give me the Bulldogs. I'm not going to watch this game because I can't stand the cowbells. I'm going to have to mute it, but I'm excited to see them cover the 9.5. It's just annoying.
Less cowbell.
YouTube TV has a function where you could switch it to Vuvuzela.
I'm so glad you reminded me.
I love the Vuvuzela.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, you're gonna kill me. You're gonna kill me about the 4-box, the multi-view.
How did you not know that the YouTube multi-view could be edited?
I don't know. I have. Here's the thing: they offer so many, and it's never exactly what I wanted. So I'm like, all right, they must know what they're doing here. I don't know. I really don't.
You never noticed the thing that said edit multi-view.
Can I be honest with you? A lot of times I'm doing the pregame show. I'll end it. Mikey Meatballs is out there and he'll have it all set up. And so he informed me yesterday. He's like, yeah, of course you could do a customized thing. But it's such a life changer though. It's so good. I'm so glad I didn't notice this 2 months from now. I know. Also, I'm an idiot, but what are you gonna do?
No, I get it. You're out here living on the west side of LA, Santa Monica, white glove service. You're used to everyone doing stuff for you. You lose touch with the common man. I get it.
That's me, Santa Monica. All right. All right. Well, as a common man, I had Texas -2.5. Hate to tell you, that Heifetz in that one. Let's try to make it 2 in a row. Louisville -20.5 to Cal. Cal's dropped 3 out of 4 outright, 4 straight against the spread. I love this Louisville running back, Isaac Brown, 782 yards, averaging 8.6 yards a carry. Their defense is excellent. Interceptions tied for 7th in the country. First down defense, 9th. Total defense, 11th. They allow fewer than 18 points a game versus ACC opponents. They lost that tough one to Virginia like a month ago, and then 2 double-digit wins the last couple of weeks. And here's the biggest thing. Jeff Brom's squad is 15th. The rankings came out on Tuesday. They have some work to do if the committee is going to recognize them or even a second ACC team in the field. This is a romp here. 44-9, the Cardinals crush the Cal Bears, lay the 20.5. That's probably the biggest spread I've had on this segment. All right, listen, let's take one more break. And then, we got Derrick Henry, and we're going to get an update on Dabbundo's date. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Normally in this part of the show, we do what's called handy clipping. We'll show a clip or a news item and set the odds accordingly. But Anthony Dabbundo had a big date last night with an older woman. He went through this on Tuesday, I think. This was not Nicole Kidman, as I had hoped for you, right? You laughed at me a couple months ago when I said that.
It was not Nicole. We ended things after game 2 of the NLDS. I don't think she loved that my tickets weren't great for the Phillies games. Like, I think she's a little used to the right behind home plate,
the white glove Santa Monica treatment that
exactly
Heifetz was talking about. Yeah,
Sal, maybe some people out in California that could take good care of her, but I am not one of those people.
Okay, all right, but all is not lost. I don't think it's this handy clip, but we don't have a clip from the date, do we, Mikey Meatballs? We don't.
I hope not.
Okay, just the same, Heifetz, jump in here. This was an older woman. He asked her out on a date. They were going to a bar around 6 or 6:30. That's all the information I have so far. So based on that, Heifetz. I'm going to put the line at over under 3/4 of a base.
I think I'm going to take the under. I'm going to take the under. He's a gentleman.
Wow.
This was a
Heifetz.
Thursday?
Thursday.
Oh, look
yeah.
at that reaction. Look at that reaction. He's
Here's the
sitting
thing.
there. Look at that
Here's
grin.
what we also have this to go off of. It seems like he watched the game. So either the date was over by game time, or
Oh,
I don't know.
wow.
Maybe this needs to be.
I'll
I don't
believe
know.
it, my man. I'm going to take the over, mostly because of how
You're
he
going
reacted.
over. All right.
Going
Over is
over.
plus 160. Over
Yeah,
3/4 of a base, plus 160. Dabbundo, tell us who wins here. I'm gonna say
3/4 of a base, not even a half. Couldn't even
No,
be a
no,
half?
no. These are European soccer rules. I don't know what we're doing.
One of the funniest things is this happened on Friday night, and then so Saturday we had a Halloween party, and a friend who was at the bar with us who like saw kind of this all go down. He's like, "Oh yeah, Dabbundo's got a date with a 40-year-old," and then every time he mentioned it, he just added 5 years to her age, to the point where I was like about to start going on a date with like Sister Jean's sister. So that was funny, but no, I will say we were over the base.
Really?
However, there is an element of when the age gap is significant, you have to go into everything with a bit of a grain of salt, because you can't treat this with the same intention necessarily. You have to be really blown away for it to be like a great date with somebody who's almost 10 years older than you.
Well, she might say the same, right? About someone who's younger.
And I think
Okay.
there was
Yeah.
that underlying tension is the wrong word. There was that underlying hesitancy throughout that kind of colored the entire conversation. It was great. I enjoyed her company. We had fun.
All right.
We'll see about the second time. Well, we'll see. But it was an enjoyable expence. And
Well, who cares about this? How did you
missed the
get
first
over
quarter of the
over
game, but I didn't miss
3/4 of a
anything,
base?
Yeah, was it like was it IKF on third? Was it like a close lead and you were called out at the plate? What's
You
going on?
got backpicked. Yeah.
It was a gentlemanly end of the date, and that went as well as I could have expected for a first date. That didn't go out of control.
Where did the over hit? Where
At the end of the date.
No. Where is it? Outside, or was it in the
Yes.
bar? It was outside.
Yes.
Outside of her place or your place, or just like on the street, on the sidewalk?
The bar.
It was outside the bar. And you
Yes.
got to first base outside the bar. Interesting. My God.
There you
know, like
go.
in that's a
You guys
college
are
move.
married, engaged. You
I
guys
know, but that's
living
such a college
vicariously
move.
through my very
That's-
mediocre dating life. It's fun.
That's
Heifetz is
too
getting so
old
much
for you.
content out of my dating life these days.
It's great. It's terrific.
I am. So
You
I
win.
look, so I have. I mean, I was going to over under. How many drinks? How many drinks did you end up ordering when you met? for drinks at
63.
6?
I think it
For
was
him to
it was
go over?
three drinks. Yep.
3 drinks. Okay,
Mhm.
good. That's
Moscow
good-
Mules for me.
Moscow Mules.
Dabbundo has a 3-drink minimum per base. That's just his policy. What are you going to do? What works. All right. Well, you know what? We should keep track of this, Heifetz. You are 1-0 head to head with me on Dabbundo date prop bets. So let's see if there's another, and there might be another with this particular woman. You're saying
There
right,
may
Dabbundo?
be.
Okay.
We'll see.
Do you
I'll
think
keep
she
you updated.
listens to this? Do you think she listens to this pod?
I am pretty confident she does not.
Okay. But if
If she does, I'm sorry.
But if we clip it out and put it on Netflix. I don't know how shit works anymore. I don't know. All right. We'll do that. All right. That was great. Hey, Derrick Henry coming up right now. We're going to throw to that. Good thing Dabbundo didn't stiff arm his date, much like Derrick Henry does over and over and over against defenders. So here it is. Me with Derrick Henry earlier in the week. All right, my guest today is a Heisman Trophy winner, a 5-time Pro Bowler, a 2-time NFL rushing champ. He's got an Offensive Player of the Year award in his possession, and now he's perhaps an Emmy-winning actor as he plays himself, King Henry, in some fun new State Farm insurance ads. Baltimore Ravens superstar running back Derrick Henry. Welcome, King.
How you doing? Appreciate you having me.
Of course. Thanks for jumping on here. You know, I was looking at your high school stats last night, and I think you're only 72 yards away from matching your high school rushing yardage total in the pros, 12,124 yards. Is that something that means something to you to jump ahead of that total? I mean, that's an astronomical number.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen people been tracking it, but I haven't really got much
Yeah.
into it. Just very thankful to be going and playing this long. So just blessed to be able to be in year 10 and be able to have that much mileage.
It is amazing. 10-year career, and it took that much to eclipse your high school numbers. They were that outrageous. 12,000 yards. You only went to high school for 4 years, right? That's not, yeah, okay. It's not like an 8-year stint. You averaged 328 yards rushing per game senior year. You must have had that stiff arm working as a teenager, huh?
Yeah, it definitely, since I started playing Pop Warner 5, 6 years old, it's something that always came natural to me.
Really? And did you practice that in the off season, like on your friends or younger siblings or anything?
No, I think it was just I was long, lanky. My arms were just long. So when I put the arm out, I broke tackles and it got me to the end zone. So it came naturally, especially like when you playing in the yard with your cousins or playing at school at recess. It's something that I always done.
Coming out of high school, did part of you think, why am I bothering with college football? I'm just going to go to Europe for a few years and then the pros will come calling, or were you psyched to feast on SEC defenses?
I was psyched. One of my dreams is playing the SEC. Something that I always wanted to do and play running back, and being from Florida, watching Florida, Georgia game. Yeah, it's something I always wanted to do is play in the SEC.
You got to play in all those stadiums, right? Over the course of time. Which one aside from Alabama was your favorite to play in, or just at least that you were most in awe of?
Yeah, I mean, I love playing in LSU Stadium. Especially at night, it's nothing like it. And I actually enjoy playing the A&M. It was like loud stadium, big loud stadium for sure.
Yeah. LSU must be nice because they have the yardage every 5 yards. You're like, okay, there's 5 more from me. Another 5. Probably makes you think you're running further than you are even. All right, let's talk NFL. Your Ravens are back, looking good. Won your last 2 games handily, now favored to win the AFC North once again. Obviously, Lamar Jackson's return makes a big difference. What does it mean to you to have Lamar back? I must take a lot of pressure off you at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, he's the leader of this team. He's the one that gets us going. I think you saw that last game, his return. The game is just coming so easy to him. He's found ways to get guys the ball and make plays when it seems like the play is over. So that's what we've been missing. And glad to have him back, and just fun to be able to go out there and get a win as a team.
Yeah, and I feel like this team stays on a roll, especially since the cold weather is on the way. Do you like playing in low temperatures? It seems like your brand the ball.
Yeah, I mean, it don't matter to me. Cold, hot, rain, sleet, or snow, gotta go play. That's just part of the game.
Yeah. And how much do you regret going from the Titans to the Ravens? It must keep you up at night knowing you could still be part of the magic they're putting together in Nashville this year.
It's all part of a God's plan. Still got love for my Titan family, and appreciative of being here with my Ravens family. So it's all love between the two.
There you go.
For me.
Yep. I have to get your thoughts on the tush push. It seems like it could go away when they vote again this winter. As someone who doesn't need any help gaining momentum going forward, are you a fan of this rule?
I hope they don't ban it. You can't stop it. Why you want to get it banned? Find a way to stop it. It's effective for Philly. I know we tried it. We had success and we didn't have success. So it's all a part of, having the will to stop it. But I know some teams don't like it because it's so effective, but I hope they don't ban it.
Yeah. Speaking of tushes, yours was exposed Sunday night game versus the Bengals last year. What was going on when you got tackled by the pants? Were you angry or were you laughing right away? What were your initial thoughts?
I was just hoping that he didn't try to pull him down any further. I'm just like, what is happening right now? So I tried to pull him up as fast as I could. Obviously, everybody got a laugh at it, and people still laugh at it. But I honestly didn't know what was going on. I never got tackled like that. But
yeah, I was gonna say thousands of carries in high school and college. That was the first time it had happened.
First time it did happen. And it better be the last time.
Yeah. Well, just in case, have you thought about getting a cheek tattooed with a product? You know, make some, maybe even State Farm can make some money off of this. No?
I haven't went that far. I haven't went that far with it. Just want to make sure my pants fit so that don't happen.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, Derrick, I am going to ask you something. We call this part Cuz's Conundrum, okay?
Cuz's Conundrum.
I'm going to ask you a question you've not been asked before, I'm guessing, and it's going to put you in a spot, but I think you're going to answer it correctly. Okay, the Ravens make the Super Bowl in Santa Clara, right, this year. Bad Bunny personally calls on you during halftime to sing a karaoke duet. Coach Harbaugh says it's okay. Listen, we're winning 43-3. Go out there, have some fun. You get to pick the tune. What are you and Bad Bunny doing?
Do some Kodak Black because I'm from Florida.
Okay. All right.
Probably No Flocking or something like that.
No flocking? All right. Listen, you have to be prepared because this could very well happen. Right? If Bad Bunny, his throat's a little sore or something, he's the king to join him.
They need me out there, but them views gonna go down. I don't know that the halftime performance gonna be the same.
So you have this State Farm campaign, right? And you were doing commercials as a king. Well, tell us what your role is with State Farm.
Yeah, I just thought it was cool for State Farm to bring me back the second time to do a commercial, and then do a commercial off my nickname, King Henry, with King Henry the Eighth, and being with Jake. You know, that's always fun. Being in a commercial with him, I always enjoy the commercials, and very blessed for State Farm to bring me back the second time. And like we all know, having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm, which their agents are real people. Are in the community. They step up when you need it most, and all coverages are equal because having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. And the commercial was fun. I think it's the best commercial out of all of the commercials. My daughters think it too. They love it. Just appreciative of State Farm for having me back for a second time.
Nice. Looking forward to it. Little known fact, Jake from State Farm, 16,000 rushing yards in high school. I don't know if you guys, no, that's not true. I made that up completely. Do you think, no, he forgot to tell you. Do you think this will lead to other King-inspired endorsement deals like King's Hawaiian, or maybe, you do the tire drill with onion rings at Burger King?
Hey, you put it out there. Let's speak it to existence. I hope so.
There you go. There you go. It's such a great nickname. It's better than GOAT, I think, King, right? Are you any interest in meeting other kings like King Charles?
Yeah, hopefully. I met King Henry VIII. Why not meet the other kings?
Right. Yeah. Just keep moving along. You and Charles sipping tea at Buckingham Palace, just two kings shooting the breeze. All right, Derrick. Awesome. Thank you for coming on. You can catch him this Sunday as he and his Ravens teammates take on the Vikings in Minnesota. And like I said, featured on various State Farm ads, playing himself, King Henry. Thanks, Derrick. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, man. Appreciate you.
All right. Excellent. That does it for another episode of the Ringer Gambling Show. For King Henry, Surf Anthony, and Peasant Danny, I'm Prince Sal saying so long, and may your parlays be prosperous. Must be 21 or older and present in select states, or 18 or older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. You must be 21 or older and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 or older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG, 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 877-8-HOPE-NEW YORK or text HOPE New York in New York